Y'all heard of St. John? Pretty good. I love St. John. And he's blowing up. He'd been blowing up for a minute, but now he's like really blowing up. That's my guy. I've never met him, but he seems really cool. Really smart, really nice. And funny as hell. Alright. What's up? What's up? What's up? Anyway, relax, calm down. Tomorrow we're launching Favored Nations. This is this, but this is backwards because it's flipped. We're launching Favored Nations tomorrow. It's a non-profit organization that me and some humans have been working on for over 2 years. There's a lot that will be coming out about it, but for right now, all you need to know is that you can grab sick hoodies and apparel that we've worked hard on designing. They're sick quality. 100% of the money that you spend on the hoodie goes to the charity of your choice. We give you options of charities, and right now with the pandemic, with COVID-19, all the charities that we're benefiting have to do with COVID-19 relief, whether that's frontline workers, whether that's feeding families, helping get materials to the right people that need them, protecting domestic workers who have no unions, yada, yada, yada. Hope you guys check it out. It's favorednations.org. You can go there tomorrow. We're launching. Anyway, all the money that you spend on your apparel goes to the charity you want it to go. So we don't take any of it. I don't make any money. None of our executive team makes any money. Shameless plug. Super proud of it. Can't wait for you guys to see it. Anyway, a little bit of updates. Hey, you want some updates? We'll give you some updates. The Prime Minister of the UK, Boris Johnson, he's like the President of the UK, but he's the Prime Minister of the UK, was brought to the hospital today for COVID-19. Hearts go out to him. Prayers are with him. Send out a little prayer if you can from your home and give him some love. We're all in this together, and it's not just an American thing. It's not just Chinese thing. This is a global pandemic. This is something that we're all dealing with. And so, Boris Johnson, we're with you. You got this. I go on to Governor Cuomo, who's the governor of New York. By the way, Eric Garcetti didn't do a live update today. He's the mayor of LA. So I listened to a couple other. I listened to the Governor Cuomo. I listened to Mayor Blasio of New York. I listened to Governor Newsom of California, and this is the information that I got, and I kind of filtered it down. But Governor Cuomo is the governor of New York. I'm not smart. He said that deaths have lessened in New York City for the first time. We don't know what it means yet. As of April 2nd, there were 562 deaths. On April 3rd, there were 630 deaths. And then yesterday, April 4th, from 630, it went down to 594. Does not mean that there's less grief or less tragedy. But what's interesting is the amount of people that are getting COVID-19, the deaths, the hospitalizations, and the intubations seems to be going down now in New York. But this does not mean that it's over. There could be spikes after this. This could also mean that we're hitting the spike in New York and it's going to plateau. We're not sure yet. We need more days and more details, more information to be coming in so that we understand it. But right now it could be signs of a plateau, could be signs of, we're on the way down, which is not, like we said, we don't know. It's probably not likely. It could be plateauing. Also, I just want you to remember that 74% of hospitalizations, 74% of the people that go to the hospital for COVID-19 get treated and are allowed to leave and they go home. Governor Cuomo is also asking for national deployment, which essentially he's saying that curves as far as like if people are getting sick, where they're getting sick, it's going to crest, right? New York is going to have a spike, then Illinois, or then Louisiana, and then Michigan, and then California, and, like Washington was before New York State. So he's saying that as these different surges come, we need to allocate people and resources to those places, and then as they go, we bring the people to other places. So it's a kind of like a way of diffusing people, personnel, medical professionals, and I mean those were all super redundant, and then equipment as well. So it's called, they want to balance patient loads. What they're saying, I think Blasio said this, was that if you have I don't know how many hospitals they have in New York, the grander state area, but like if you have all these hospitals in New Jersey, New York, the Bronx, all the different boroughs on the island, etc., when one hospital is above capacity of patients and then other hospitals are, able to take people, they need to what is called balance the patient load and figure out ways that they can transport people from this hospital to this hospital, and then do the same thing with supplies. So they're working on, usually all these different hospitals, whether they're public, private, or whatever, don't communicate with each other. So this is showing a huge gap in our health industry, medical industry, and what we're learning is, okay, let's get everyone to communicate so that we can band together, and it's really, really, it's positive, right? Because we're learning how to handle situations like this better. So that's what they're working on. There's an accompanying affliction to coronavirus, and this is what Newsom was saying. Not Newsom. This is what Cuomo was saying. Cuomo. His brother's on CNN and they fight all the time. I don't really watch that though. Valeria, break my heart. Valeria, break my heart into 1,000 pieces. Do whatever you want with it. It's cabin fever. There's an accompanying affliction, which pretty much means like with staying inside, with social distancing, physical distancing, with, staying inside all the time, you get cabin fever. Cabin fever is when you're stuck inside in one place and you start to like get sick of it and over it. It's super mental and emotional, a lot of strain. So, if you have feelings of isolation, if you feel like you're getting mood swings a lot, resentment of the people around you, usually your parents or people that are like authoritative in your life, or just like you irrationally have outbursts, like you get super upset or super angry randomly. This is all like signs of cabin fever, and you're not alone. Like people feel this way. This is how people are feeling. And I think that we're realizing that. So right now we've been taking care of, our frontline workers, like medical professionals, and getting them the personal protective equipment that they need. And we're working on getting people masks and face coverings, right, that we can use so that we can mitigate the damage that this is doing. But then beyond that, in the coming weeks, I think we're going to see a lot of mental health companies stepping the fuck up. You have telemedicine. You're going to have more people going to therapists, like calling a therapist, getting connected with therapists over a device with FaceTime or screen time or over the phone or even texting. Like this is something that we need to destigmatize. I think we all feel really overwhelmed, and I think that we all need to start seriously considering speaking to therapists, and that we need more of those. So, and that's something that would help with cabin fever. Governor Cuomo said that like a way that he's going to work on cabin fever is like going running with his family, which is cool. You can run, but like, you just got to be careful, right? You shouldn't leave the house for anything that's non-essential. Obviously running or going for a walk outside is great. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but stay 6 feet apart from everyone and wear a face covering if you can. It's wild how the world is changing. Governor Newsom of California. In California, as a state, it's starting to organize. It has put together a new task force. So like Donald Trump and the federal government has a task force, like Dr. Fauci and that woman, Deborah, I forget her last name every time because I'm a dumbass. And the Attorney General and they have a task force that's helping mitigate this damage. California's put together a similar task force of different people to increase the amount of daily tests by 5x, and then to help acquire more data and a more efficient way to proliferate that information, which is like California has put as a priority testing more people, learning more about the way that this virus is impacting people, and then getting that information out to people in a rapid way, in a much more robust way. Which is good because that's what we got to do now, right? We all understand that this pandemic is real. We are all understanding that we got to stay home. Now, how do we get better at this? How do we feel more in control about our lives? And I think this is how. In LA, something that's really cool that's happening. We're 3D printing personal protective equipment for healthcare workers. We're figuring out the right way to do that, and then we're going to start matching their need. And hopefully that we do match their need, and we can really make it happen. Federally, just so you guys know, there's this thing called Project Airbridge, which is people are, there's cargo planes, massive cargo planes that are now being cleared to land in America and take supplies in from all around the world. And when we don't need supplies, we'll also be sending them to other places. Since last Sunday, cargo planes have delivered 300 million gloves, almost 8 million masks, and 3 million gowns. And then more cargo planes are on the way. So in America, we're definitely living out our first world privilege and ability to jump into action to take care of all of our civilians, and it's really, really amazing. We bought 29 million doses of hydroxychloroquine, which still is not being proven that it actually, does much. But with Z-Packs, they're saying that it's I don't know why they would buy 29 million pills of hydroxychloroquine if they didn't think that it helped. In fact, Trump went out today, and I'm sure under the guidance of the CDC or Fauci or someone, was like, I'm not a doctor, but Trump was saying that people, it's not a bad idea to start taking hydroxychloroquine as a preventative measure to not get COVID-19, which it's a malaria medicine. Of course, he says that you should consult your doctor first and have your doctor give you a prescription, and then you could take it as a preventative medicine. Do we know if this is, approved? It's approved by the FDA, but do we know if this is actually something that's going to save us and keep us healthy? No, we don't know that. We also don't know what the long-term effects or the short-term side effects of taking a pill like this or a drug like this could be. But, right now we know that hydroxychloroquine and a Z-Pack are helping some people. And they are sending those pills to places to help thousands of people to see if, it actually helps with treatment for COVID-19. From 151 countries around the planet, now 182 countries are infected by COVID-19. This is, like I said, this is a massive global pandemic that affects all of us. But there are hopeful signs in Spain and Italy. After 4 weeks of mitigation, like social distancing, going out only for essentials, wearing face covers, there's just a positive sign after 4 weeks of horror in Spain and Italy. So it looks like, the mitigation attempts are not just attempts, but successful, which is super positive and can give us a lot of hope for what we'll see in America. Hopefully the lessening of deaths in New York is proof that mitigation is working as well, and not just, kind of like a calm before it spikes again, or even a plateau, which would be proof that mitigation is working. Also, something that's amazing is the VA, the Veteran Affairs, the Department of Veteran Affairs. Veteran people that fought in the war and now are veterans. They're no longer in active duty. The VA is designed to support not just veterans, but the government in a time of emergencies and war. And so that's exactly what the VA is doing. The Veterans, the Veteran Affairs Department, the VA, the people that help out veterans are now helping out civilians as well. And they're opening hospitals, opening 1,500 beds, hospital beds across the country, right now specifically in Louisiana, New York, and Michigan. So we are pulling together all the possible resources that we can right now to help Americans, and it's amazing. And it's just cool to see. It's cool to see a country coming together. And there's a lot right now with the media, CNN, Fox, and whatever's in between, saying a whole bunch of things, and it's just like Chrissy Joy says the VA hospital in Omaha has almost no masks or gowns. Word, that's where. And I'm sure that when the governor of, where's Omaha? Is that Nebraska? Omaha. Where's Omaha, y'all? Nebraska? Let's see. Music break until we figure out where the fuck Omaha is. I failed, every class. Omaha. Nebraska. I'm motherfucking right, bro. I was right. It is in Nebraska. Come on. Look, when the governor of Nebraska tells our government what he needs, it's happened in New York, it happened in Washington, it's happening in Louisiana and Michigan, it's happening in Los Angeles. When the governors tell the federal government what it is that we need, the federal government has stepped up and delivered to those places, which is, all we can hope that continues to happen. So yeah, the VA is opening hospitals across America. So we have, the military and the National Guard, two different things, being mobilized. We have our federal government mobilizing all of our industries through the Defense Production Act to make all the equipment that we need and get that equipment to the different states that need it when the governors tell us what they need. You have the Veterans of America and the Veterans Affairs Department mobilizing hospitals. You have the Army Corps of Engineers, ACE, is literally building like 1,000-bed hospitals, field hospitals at the Javits Center and at convention centers around the country. It's just like incredible to see what we're doing in an effort. Can we do more? Absolutely. And I think that we will continue to try to do more and get more and more ahead of this. But for now, stay home, do your part. And I know you are. You're doing an amazing job. We're going to feel cabin fever. We're going to feel, like, oh my God, like I just got to get out of my house. Go for a walk. You know what I'm saying? Do what you can to keep yourself sane. But also, like, realize that you have people working on front lines for all of us to keep us safe, to keep our family members in good health, and to keep us alive when we're intubated. And it's just intubated. I don't want to, might be. Intubation, yeah, when we're intubated, you have people that are doing their part and people that are dying, protecting us, just like soldiers die to protect us, and like we have people on the front lines of our healthcare system that are dying to protect us, and all we got to do is stay home. So let's do it. Let's stay home. Let's stay together. And let's beat the shit out of this fucking COVID-19 thing. I'm so fucking done with it. I'm so motherfucking done dealing with this thing. And I'm not even dealing with it. I'm blessed to be at home and safe and healthy. But I'm so sick and tired of it fucking with, friends and family members and people working on the front lines. And I know you are too. So let's stay inside. Let's beat the shit out of this pandemic. And let's learn from it. And let's get a better system and infrastructure and medical health system because of it, which we will. We will. All right. I would speak in Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish, and the mayor didn't do an update today in Spanish, so I'm really sorry if you were paying it here into the last bit to listen to a little bit of Spanish. But I'm sure he'll give an update tomorrow, and it'll summarize the last couple of days. But until then, I love you guys. Let's beat the motherfucking shit out of this virus together. Stay inside, no matter where you are in this world, in this crazy world. Stay inside, stay sane, keep breathing, take care of yourself. Do what you can do every single day to feel a little bit of power. Even that's making your bed. Even that's just reading a book, finishing a chapter, finishing 5 pages, going for a walk. Find the things that you can do to make yourself feel a little bit in control of your life and of your day. Just, if not happy, okay. Just strive for okay. Because in a few months, we'll be all right. I love you guys. This is temporary. Peace, love. Mwah! Favorite Nations opens tomorrow. Shameless plug. Good night, guys.